Bizarre Brain Comics. Hello, my comic book friends, and welcome to Bizarre Brain Comics. I'm Gary, your host. Yesterday I made an impromptu video and showed you some of the books from a bookshelf that collapsed. Well, I tried fixing it and it's still collapsed. Got two shelves that are collapsed. I'm going to have to take them all apart and reassemble them and stuff, but I thought, well, since I've got to do that, I'll show you some more of the books from my collapsed bookshelf. There we go. And we start off with this one. This is Roxana and the Quest for the Time Bird, #1, Remor's Conch. I can't even begin to pronounce the names of the creators here. And this is a European graphic novel series. I'll give you an idea of this is English, but I think the French creators, graphic novel, fantasy, sword and sorcery. Give you a little idea of some of the artwork in here. Some nice looking stuff. Nice looking stuff. Roxana and the Quest for the Time Bird. Then, in that same vein, is an American sword and sorcery with some humor in it. This is Red Fox. This is a graphic novel for compilation of several issues of the comic title, with this cover drawn by, was it Brian Boland, I think? That's really nice, but it is kind of misleading. Here's your little idea. It says prettier than Conan, funnier than Elric, shorter than Red Sonja, Red Fox, another kind of heroine. Harrier Publishing. So this is English publication. We got it here, and you can see the art style is considerably different. Is not unpleasing and attractive. Has some humor stuff in it, but the art has a distinctly less professional, less polished look to it. That's why I say the Brian Boland cover is kind of misleading, but still a fun and interesting read there. Then I go here too. Got to be some Archie in here somewhere. Archie and Friends All-Stars. This is a graphic novel of the cartoon life of Chuck Clayton. And if you happen to be an Archie fan like I am, you read it. That Chuck Clayton is one of Archie's classmates, but he is an artist, and he wants to be do comic books and other comic stuff. And this is just a whole novel story about him and his artwork here. And then we come over here to last time I showed you an American Splendor. Here's another American Splendor. This is from many years later. This is from when it was being published by Vertigo, which was a DC imprint. And it still has all the, this way he didn't have to arrange his own artists and the stuff and such. He just had to do the writing and let the company get the artists. So there's a variety of artists, and these were probably more, by and large, more professional artists than, oh, that's pretty, that's nice, than he was used to on his, when he was publishing the book himself. Illustrated by some of the comics' greatest artists, including Darwin Cook, Dean Haspiel, and David Lapham. I said it wrong. Then, kind of in the same vein, is Real Stuff, this is a compilation of several issues of his self-published book. This is by Dennis Eichhorn and a host of artists. He did like Harvey did. He would do a lot of autobiographical, semi-autobiographical, or pseudo-autobiographical stories, and have artists do the artwork for him, and then he would publish the book himself. In this case, it's Swifty Morales Press. I don't know what that is. Oh yeah, and some more stuff. Then here we have Ripoff Press Inc. presents the fabulous Furry Freak Brothers Library, Volume 3. Stuff by Gilbert Shelton. I always liked the Freak Brothers. I had several. I still have several of the regular comics. And then this is reprinting a lot of those comics and stuff. So always drug oriented. So not really for kids. And here's one that is unusual. This is Farlane the Goblin. It is a fairy tale about finding your forest. Book 1, The Tinklands. And this is some pretty. I think this was originally a webtoon, but I'm not positive on that matter. And gives you an idea. So it's very very cutesy looking art, and some funny little adventurous stuff. And it must be 2012 or 2013 when it came out. This was $5 because it has an ad here on the back for the 2 other volumes after this one. Farlane the Goblin, some pretty stuff. So then we go over here. We've got from DC Comics. This is The Green Arrow, collected for the first time 11 classic Emerald Archer tales from the 1950s, featuring art by the immortal Jack Kirby. And of course, this was a more recent drawing for the cover, but the interior art was all 50s Kirby. You can tell just by the art style. And this is, of course, early Silver Age goofiness involved here. And of course, these were just, of course, at that time, Green Arrow was just a ripoff of their companion title of Batman. And at this point, it was a backup story, and I can't remember what title it was a backup story on. But then you get something later on, and much more slick, is Green Arrow 3-issue miniseries, The Longbow Hunters by Mike Grell. This is issue 1, and give it just some really nice artwork. And here, recounting his origin, among other things. Mike Grell, and it did some experimental stuff on for the artwork. I have issues 1, issue 2, issue 3. See, this is some really nice cover paintings. He really revamped Green Arrow and made him a popular character again. And then we follow that up with this graphic album. This is Captain America, Prisoner of War by Brubaker, Deodato, Guisi, and Samney. I don't know all of them, but it gives you an idea of some of the artwork in here. Oh, that's a great one right there. Yeah, Captain America, and they have another volume in that too. But then we're going to finish it off here with Big Book of Ditko. This is is an oversized trade paperback of reprinting a variety of Steve Ditko stories from various publishers, primarily Charlton Comics. And this is when Ditko was really good. And a lot of his much later stuff wasn't, artistically speaking, wasn't as good or as nice. And here's a lot of his science fiction stuff. Panic, and it reprints, has a Conga story and a Gorgo story. The two monster titles he worked on for Charlton Comics. A variety of other things. Even has some of the stories that he did, and I think I've got another book reprinting a lot of these. I might be just thinking of this one, but I'm not sure. Is stuff he did for Get Smart, published by Dell. Remember, yeah, Get Smart, the spy spoof comic from show from the 60s. And come back, more science fiction-y stuff, and that's Nuclear, and then it rounds out with something he did for some adult publisher, and it's all very sexy. It's probably the sexiest woman I think I've ever, and most attractive woman I think I've ever seen Ditko do. Because a lot of his women were, especially his later style, were much less than attractive. And I think it was just his art style, just like Kirby's was like that too. And okay, and that's all we're going to take a look at this time in this impromptu little video of books from my collapsed bookshelf. So I do want to thank you for joining me, and please do like, share, and subscribe, and do leave comments. Tell me what you think of these books. And I just grabbed a bunch from off that shelf, some of the more interesting looking ones. So leave me a comment, and remember, comics are art.